More touring car action. We go from the French series to the Spanish series. Super touring really expanding all around Europe, and well, this time the Spanish Touring Car Championship making its only visit outside its own shores and going to Estoril in Portugal. The fourth round of the series in the Spanish touring cars, and it's a good qualifying time from Eric van der Poel in the Nissan. Well, he had a win and a second place last time out, but even with this spectacular two-wheeling action, his qualifying wasn't quite good enough to take pole. In fact, it was Giorgio Francia taking the first 1995 pole position for an Alfa Romeo 155 in the series. I think that Alfa, Nissan and Opel are all really very close. Sometimes it's us fastest, sometimes it's the others. Today it was my turn. I'm very happy, and we're going to see how the race goes tomorrow. Only one BMW in Estoril for the privateer driver, Jesus Diaz Villarreal. And that's because the official BMW driver, Antonio Albacete, who currently leads the championship by 5 points, actually excluded for 2 races following incidents in Jarama. So Albacete not competing in this race. Let's see what happens as we get the first race underway. From the start of the race then, we go on board with Adrian Campos, who makes a great start. It was an absolutely appalling start from the front row of Giorgio Francia from that pole position. So he got dropped behind, and up front it's Alex Caffey who takes the initial lead as they all head off around the first lap here at Estoril. Alex Caffey leading from Adrian Campos in second position, Luis Perez Sala in third, with Joan Vinales up into fourth place. Perez Sala looking down the inside of Campos into the right-hand hairpin, climbing back uphill towards the left-hander before they run behind the pit paddock area. But a good start there from Alex Caffey in the Opel. The 31-year-old Spaniard raced in the Italian Formula 3 series back in the mid-80s before going on to some Grand Prix racing with Osella and Dallara, and Alex Caffey now pulling out a bit of a lead, bit of an advantage from Adrian Campos. Well, further back there's been an incident coming out of the last corner. That's one of the Fords involved, Carlos Palau, and in fact Jesus Pereira also involved, so both of the Fords in trouble there. Well, we're taking a look at the onboard pictures here from Joan Vinales, and up front you can see that in fact is a spinning Nissan. That's Luis Perez Sala, and remember he was well up in third position, so that's changed things around a little bit, and it's still Alex Caffey leading, Adrian Campos in second position now, with Marc Genet up into third position. From the onboard camera, that's Giorgio Francia going past Joan Vinales, and well, up front Alex Caffey having a fairly untroubled time. They're going through the new chicane there. Remember that chicane introduced last year for the Portuguese Grand Prix. As we go back on board once again, Adrian Campos still going well, but coming into the pits in fact has come Alex Caffey, and Adrian Campos as well has also got himself a penalty for a jump start. So into the pits there is Alex Caffey, having served his penalty. So Caffey coming back out once again, and obviously his start was deemed to be a little bit too rapid. Adrian Campos also has to come in. There he does come in indeed. So that leaves the lead of the race now to Jordi Genet in the Opel. He's got Giorgio Francia right behind him, Luis Villamil in third place in another Alfa Romeo, and then Joan Vinales not far behind in another of the Nissans. So the Opel lead that was held by Alex Caffey is now being taken away by Giorgio Francia, going past Jordi Genet. Genet, who taken over from his teammate in the Opel camp, but now Giorgio Francia making up for that appalling start from pole position, goes into the lead, and in fact Jordi Genet is coming under pressure from Luis Villamil now. So he's got to watch out from the second of the Alfa Romeos. In fact, Villamil goes past, so Alfas 1 and 2, Giorgio Francia driver who was racing in the German Touring Car Championship. And now in the Spanish series, there's Eric van der Poel trying to make up some ground as well. Van der Poel trying to get past Jordi Genet and get into third place through that final corner. He's got just a little way to go towards the checkered flag. It looks as though Francia is going to take the win here. Francia coming through to win it from Villemel in second. Who's going to take third? Well, Genet just takes third from Eric van der Poel. John Vignez fifth and Jesus Diaz in sixth place in the BMW. Well, Alex Caffey in a bit of trouble before the start of the race with electrical problems before this second start. So, well, that's disappointing for the man who was leading the first race. And once again, Francia makes an appalling start. And so it's Luis Villemel who makes the best start in his Alfa Romeo. Villemel leading, Van der Poel making an excellent start, the Belgian in the Nissan. Van der Poel trying to go around the outside. Remember, he took a win in the previous round of the series. And we go on board with Villarreal in the BMW through the right hand. Oh, he's got the steering, he's off straight into the barrier. Hefty impact for Villarreal. And let's take another look at that. Serious case of understeer. Turning the wheel, nothing much happening. The car went straight on and boff straight into the barrier. The onboard camera is somewhat knocked from its position. So exciting stuff from the onboard camera. On board with Adrian Campos trying to work his way up the order a little bit. And, well, a little bit of contact, but he manages to get past there. Going past Carlos Palau and into fifth position. Up front, Luis Villemel still under pressure from Eric van der Poel. Jordi Genet battling with Giorgio Francia, rather. Francia trying to take that to third place. So Villemel still race leader. Mr. Very experienced driver, Villemel, former Spanish touring car champion. Oh, looking up, that was Giorgio Francia. We go back on board with Campos. That's Francia disappearing. And there is Giorgio Francia just locked up, going into the end corner at the end of the start-finish straight and straight off the track. So disappointment for him. Meanwhile, Luis Perez Sala is finding a way past Carlos Palau. Sala there in the Nissan just getting past Carlos Palau. We're travelling on board with Palau, but back to the leaders. Still Jordi Genet in the white and yellow Opel, trying to put Eric van der Poel under pressure. But Van der Poel, the experienced Belgian, looks as though he's going to be able to control this. Well, I say that, he's up on two wheels going through that new chicane. Just watch this again in slow motion. And Eric van der Poel, former Grand Prix driver for the Lamborghini Formula One team, the Brabham team, and a bit for Fond Metal as well. Well, really making exciting work of it through that chicane, but keeping it all together and coming through to the finish in second place. Luis Villemel taking the win, though. Eric van der Poel taking second, and Jordi Genet in third, with Adrian Campos coming through well as well. So in the championship, it means that Luis Villemel now has a narrow lead with 96 points. Eric van der Poel second on 90, and Jordi Genet third on 76.